Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss one of the common reagent which is generally used for the reduction of carbonyl compound, and that is sodium borohydride. In our previous lesson we have discussed the property of lithium aluminum hydride, and we have already discussed the reducing power and reducing nature of lithium aluminum hydride. So today we will discuss the general reducing characteristics of the sodium borohydride, and we will also compare the reducing power of sodium borohydride with lithium aluminum hydride. So let's see. All right. So this sodium borohydride, as you can see from this slide, this is also known as sodium tetrahydroborate or sodium tetrahydroborate. So these are the two names which are also used for sodium borohydride. It was discovered in 1940 by Schlesinger scientist. It is the name of scientist who has invented, and he has also shown some of the reducing property of the sodium borohydride in his work. So he is the main person who is associated with the discovery of this sodium borohydride. All right. When we discuss the lithium aluminum hydride, that time we have also discussed that lithium aluminum hydride is mainly used with aprotic solvents. But when we see the reducing power of the sodium borohydride, then if we are going to reduce some functionality, mainly carbonyl compound, of course, using this sodium borohydride, then reducing property is good in case of protic solvent. So whenever we are using the sodium borohydride, then we have to preferentially we have to take this polar protic solvents, because of course this protic solvent enhance this activity of sodium borohydride. We'll talk about it later. All right. So the rate of reaction with protic solvent is also uh, there with sodium borohydride. Of course, with the lithium aluminum hydride, the rate of reaction was very fast and a huge amount of hydrogen was eliminated with lithium aluminum hydride. But here the evolution of hydrogen is very slow. So that's why we can use this protic solvent. There is no harm. All right. So as far as the structure is concerned, it is tetrahedral structure having BH4 minus anion, and uh, and if you see the structure of this compound, this sodium borohydride, it exists in three polymorphs, alpha, beta, and gamma forms. It exists, and alpha form is generally more stable, and that is actually cubical structure. We know the crystal system. We know that cubical having some parameters having interfacial angle and bond length. So the parameter, the structure of this alpha sodium borohydride is cubic. As we increase the pressure up to 6.3 gigapascal, then it converted into tetrahedral. And further increasing the pressure, it takes orthorhombic structure. So if you want to understand the basic difference between this cubical, tetragonal, and orthorhombic structure, then you can easily understand here that in all these three cases, this bond length, interfacial bond angles are same, but bond length are different. So that is very well understood. So these are the polymeric form of sodium borohydride. In all three forms, this sodium borohydride exists. As far as the synthesis is concerned, there are two most common methods. First one is Brown-Schlesinger process, and second one is Bayer process. And that you can also study from Wikipedia. So it is there. So if we have to follow this Brown-Schlesinger process, then what is the substrate is that sodium hydride and then trimethyl borate. Once we heat the reaction mixture at 250 degrees centigrade, we can get the sodium borohydride. In Bayer process, we use this borax, sodium, hydrogen, and silicate. We mix all these four components, and we heat the reaction mixture at 700 degrees centigrade to get this sodium borohydride. So these are the two commercial methods by which this sodium borohydride can be prepared. All right. So now let's discuss the important reactivity property of the sodium borohydride. And as we all know that this sodium borohydride is a reducing agent. If we say more specifically, then it is also a kind of nucleophilic reducing agent, because hydride ion is again getting hydride ion attack on the carbonyl carbon, electrophilic carbonyl carbon. So we'll talk about the mechanism, but the first thing is that we should know that it is a reducing agent and it preferentially reduces carbonyl compound and carbonyl compound to alcohol. If it is aldehyde, then primary, and if it is ketone, then secondary alcohol. So that is a very simple thing. Everyone knows that. And it can also use to reduce acyl chloride and anhydride and alpha dihydroxylactones, thioesters. So there are some compound which can also be reduced using this sodium borohydride. And when we discuss the reducing power of this carboxylic acid and amides, so these two functionalities cannot be reduced using the sodium borohydride. Even esters cannot be reduced using the sodium borohydride. Under certain conditions, we can reduce ester also, but most commonly, all these three functionality, it is not used. This functionality cannot be reduced using the sodium borohydride, and we'll talk about that why it is there, because of the less reducing power of the sodium borohydride and because of the structure of this compound, structure of this ester and carboxylic acid and amide being less electrophilic carbon, it generally reduces with strong reducing agent. We'll talk about that. All right, so from this slide, actually it is very important slide, because we should know, we have to understand what are the functionality which can be reduced by this sodium borohydride. So generally carbonyls are reduced into corresponding alcohol, and there are some functionality also which can be reduced, of course, chloride and hydride and hydroxylactones. But sodium borohydride cannot reduce ester, carboxylic acid and amides under normal condition. So now we are coming to the reduction power and reduction property of the sodium borohydride. So as I have mentioned that we are using protic solvent, polar protic solvent, whenever we are using sodium borohydride as a reducing agent for the reducing some functionality. Most commonly, as I have mentioned, that carbonyls are the most common functionality which are reduced using this sodium borohydride. So if we are taking some kind of protic solvent, then that protic solvent can form hydrogen bond with the substrate. So by the formation of the hydrogen bond, the substrate can be activated so that nucleophilic hydride can react on this carbonyl electrophile. All right. So this is the point which we have to remember. This is actually important. Then if we have a substrate having alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl system, if we have a conjugated system, conjugated carbonyl system, then if we add sodium borohydride, then it has been observed that generally it add on this functionality on 1,4 fashion. Means hydride will be attacked here first. If it is hydride, then it will like here, then of course it will be first step is here, but it is just a representation. Double bond will be here, then it can be reduced also. So again this O minus will be reduced after protonation. We can have this OH. So then in the second step this double bond can also be reduced. So we are getting exclusively 1,4 reduced products. So this fashion is called 1,4 reduction pattern, in which we are getting alcohol, corresponding alcohol, and this double bond is getting reduced. So there is no double bond in the molecule. So this is the general reducing characteristic of this sodium borohydride. All right. So let's talk about the application. First application, as we have mentioned, that reduction of carbonyl. So we have this functionality, carbonyl functionalities here. We are using sodium borohydride and then protonation. We can have this. Oh, sorry, this is alcohol actually. I have forgot to mention. This must be OH. So we are getting the secondary alcohol. Then we have aldehyde. Then we are getting primary alcohol. These are the side products which we are not going to discuss. So if we have, let's talk about the mechanism. Mechanism is very simple. As I have mentioned, that first one is the addition of this hydride on this carbonyl carbon. Because of this polarity, delta minus will be here on oxygen and delta plus will be here on the carbon. So because of this polarity difference, this hydride will attack on this carbon, and after protonation we'll get this corresponding alcohol. So these are the very easy mechanism that can be easily understood. Uh, Important application of the sodium borohydride is also in case of demercuration. We know that whenever we are treating some alkene compound with mercuric acetate and sodium borohydride, then this is a very well-known reaction in organic chemistry, and it is called oxymercuration and demercuration reaction. And we know that this reaction follow Markovnikov addition. So whenever this kind of compound is there, then negative part will attach on the carbon having less number of hydrogen. All right. So the first step is of course addition of this mercuric acetate, and in the second step, for the formation of carbon hydrogen bond, for the deprotonation of this Hg from carbon, we have to add this sodium borohydride. So this is the second application of this sodium borohydride. And if you want to know the mechanism, what is exactly the mechanism, then you can easily see here that if we have alkene, this alkene which we have discussed earlier, then this generally undergo addition on this mercury, giving this, eliminating this acetate ion, OSE will be eliminated, and we will form this intermediate. So now since we are adding water molecule, then this water will react with this carbocationic species. Actually not this carbocationic, this is cationic intermediate. Then it will give rise to this intermediate step, and after this demercuration, this carbon mercury bond will be broken and carbon hydrogen bond is formed. So here CH3 will be regenerated. So that is the role of the sodium borohydride in this reaction. It means if we have to if we have to break this carbon mercury bond, then we are using the sodium borohydride as a reagent, and that is in the second step of the oxymercuration demercuration step. We are using the sodium borohydride. All right, so these are the some application. If you want to know the reaction, is hydroxylation of alkene using this oxymercuration demercuration step, then we know that this is an unsymmetrical alkene, and because of this plus effect, this bond will be shifted in this direction. So this carbon will get partial positive charge, and this carbon will get other one, it will get partial negative charge. So once it is having partial positive, so this OH, addition of OH will be there. That can be easily understood since it is hydroxylation reaction is there. So this OH will be attached on this positive charge. So that is also known as a Markovnikov addition. If you have this alkene, you see here, this is unsymmetrical alkene, and because of this plus I effect, this bond will be shifted, polarized in this way, that minus will be here and partial positive charge on this carbon. So OH will be added directly on this carbon, so we will get this compound. And here also, if you see that this is an unsymmetrical alkene, and because of these two group, we have disubstituted alkene here. Here it is monosubstituted. So this bond will be migrated in this fashion. This carbon will have partial positive, it has minus, and so OH will be attached on the positively charged carbon. So these are some products which are formed by the oxymercuration demercuration reaction. And of course, in all these three cases, you can see that Markovnikov rule is followed, because OH ion is getting attached with the carbon having lesser number of hydrogen atoms. These are some other examples. So we have aldehyde, then we know that this aldehyde convert into primary alcohol. Aldehyde is converted into primary alcohol. This is also aldehyde and primary alcohol. So that is very obvious. All right. So far we have discussed two things, that one is the carbonyl is getting reduced, and the reduction is there in 1,4 fashion. 1,4 reduction pattern is there whenever we are using sodium borohydride alone, if alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds are there. But we have a condition when we are using cerium chloride together with sodium borohydride. We are adding this cerium chloride, CeCl3, with sodium borohydride. Then we have found that the pattern is very much different. And this reduction is actually known as Luce reduction. And this is very famous reduction actually, for the reduction of carbonyl, alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl in 1,2 fashion. and it happens because of the some chemical reaction which you can understand here. In Luche reduction, we are using the sodium borohydride and cerium chloride. It is mentioned already. So when these two react, then we are getting HCeCl2 as a product. And once this is generated, HCeCl2 is there. Then this HCeCl2 coordinates with the oxygen. You can see here, this oxygen is getting coordinated with the cerium. And because of this coordination, it activates this carbonyl position, carbon oxygen bond, so that this addition can takes place in the 1-2 fashion. So if there is any double bond, then that double bond will not be hampered. That double bond will remain as such in the solution. All right. So like if you want to compare, then if here this is alpha beta unsaturated carbon compound. So if we are treating with only sodium borohydride, then we are getting a reduction product, where reduction takes place in 1,4 fashion. That is discussed. We are not getting any such kind of product. But whenever we are using this cerium chloride, you can see here that here we are using the cerium chloride with sodium borohydride. Means this reaction is called Luche reduction, and in this case we are getting almost 97% yield of this compound, where reduction takes place in 1-2 fashion. This carbonyl is reduced only. This double bond is not attacked by the sodium borohydride when we are using cerium chloride with it. All right. So in Luche reduction, we can also conclude that this reduction takes place in 1-2 fashion, and reduction of only carbonyl group takes place exclusively, almost exclusively. So this is an important synthetic transformation. If we have to retain, if we don't want to disturb our conjugated double bond, then we can use this reduction to get the alcohol from corresponding carbonyls. All right. So these are the two examples from Carruthers book. So here you can easily see that this is the alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound, and we are treating with sodium borohydride and methanol, a protic solvent. When we are not taking any cerium chloride, we are not taking any CeCl3, then almost we are getting some mixture of product in this particular case. Actually, whenever we are not using the CeCl3, then in that case we are always getting mixture of product whenever this is conjugated system is there. Some sort of 1-2 and 1-4 fashion reduction takes place. But whenever we are using the cerium chloride, then you can see here almost 99% of the product which is formed here is 1-2 reduced carbonyl compound. Double bond is intact there. So this is interesting, very, very interesting. You can see here. Now, once we are doing the reduction of this kind of compound, then we can also, if you are using CeCl3, then here you can also understand that this conjugated carbon is getting reduced, but double bond is not getting hampered. So this Luche reduction is one of the interesting, name reaction where we can reduce carbonyl compound into corresponding alcohol without affecting the alpha beta unsaturated double bond. So this is interesting. So if you compare the general property of this lithium aluminum hydride with sodium borohydride, then molecular weight is almost same. But you see the melting point of sodium borohydride is very high, 400 degrees centigrade, as compared to 150 degrees centigrade of lithium aluminum hydride. And of course, for recrystallization, we use non-polar abatic solvent, but here we can use warm diglyme. So if it reacts with water, then very violent reaction takes place, as I have discussed in my previous lecture. So if you want to know further how it is violent, then you can visit my second lecture where we have talked about how lithium aluminum hydride LaH react with water violently, giving huge amount of hydrogen. In case of sodium borohydride, the reduction is very slow. The reducing power of LaH is very high as compared to sodium borohydride, and it reduces almost all the functionality having carbonyl system. Here, sodium borohydride is exclusively used for the reduction of carbonyl compound, but of course it can use for the reduction of acyl, chloride, thiol, amine, but not ester, amide, and carboxylic acid, because this sodium borohydride is a mild reducing agent, and because of the structure of this ester, amide, and carboxylic acid, they have some sort of resonance stabilization, and because of that, carbonyl carbon is less electrophilic as compared to this aldehyde and ketonics. So that's why they do not undergo reduction generally with sodium borohydride. Here is some example just for your practice. Here we have aldehyde here, and we have, excuse me, we have ester here. So we have two functionality in this molecule, and once we are treating with the sodium borohydride, then we are getting product having reduced carbonyl system only. The ester is not getting affected once we are using this sodium borohydride. But if you see this other example where we are using this sodium borohydride, sorry, excuse me, lithium aluminum hydride. So once we are using this lithium aluminum hydride, then excuse me, it's not. So once we are using this lithium aluminum hydride, then you can easily understand that here this aldehyde and this ester, both this functionality are getting reduced here. So that is the difference. And as far as the reduction power is concerned, then we have discussed that this aldehyde and ketone can be easily reduced by sodium borohydride, and rest can be reduced by lithium aluminum hydride. But because of this resonance stabilization in these molecules, the electrophilic power, electrophilicity of this carbonyl carbon is lesser because of, you know, some sort of stabilization is here, and due to that stabilization, this carbon, these three carbons, one, two, and these three carbon, these three are less electrophilic, so they do not, hydride cannot attack here on these three molecules efficiently. Of course, all these five can be reduced using lithium aluminum hydride. So this is interesting, and you have to remember. Now, if someone asks, is that why this LAH is stronger reducing agent than sodium borohydride, then the reason is that first one is the cationic size of the uh, species. We have two cations. In case of lithium aluminum hydride, we have aluminum, and here in case of sodium borohydride, we have boron. And we know that the cationic size of lithium, this lithium is smaller as compared to boron, and lithium is a better Lewis acid. So once it is a good Lewis acid, in case of carbonyl compound, when we study this carbonyl, here I want to show here, this is suppose we have carbonyl, excuse me. So suppose here we have this carbonyl, C double bond O, and we know that the here oxygen has two lone pair. So if some Lewis acid is there, good Lewis acid is there, then that Lewis acid can make form bond with this carbonyl. So this electrophilic carbon, this electrophilicity of this carbon will be increased. Partial positive will be higher in these cases. So, and this Lewis acid is a better Lewis acid as compared to boron. Aluminium is a better Lewis acid, and that coordinates with this oxygen. So the charge density on this carbon is high, so hydride can attack easily when we discuss this reduction of this lithium aluminum hydride as compared to sodium borohydride. Second reason is that when we discuss these E stand for electronegative atom, EH4 anion. So here we have ALH4, and here we have BH4. And when we compare the electronegativity of this aluminum and boron again, then we have found that boron has 2.04 electronegativity, and aluminum is having 1.61 only. So boron is higher electronegative as compared to aluminum. So once we discuss the bonding pattern of boron and hydrogen, then this covalent bond are shifted more towards the boron as compared to hydrogen. So transfer of hydride takes place, means not easy transfer of hydride cannot take place from this bonding because of the higher electronegativity of this boron as compared to aluminum. So these are the two regions. First one is the size of the cation. Of course, both the regions are directly related with the central metal ion in LiLH4, and here central metal ion in case of sodium borohydride. So this is because of the aluminum and boron that the reducing power of this LAH is higher. First one is because of the size of this aluminum. It is a good Lewis acid. It can activate the carbonyl group, and so it can generate higher charge, higher electrophilicity on this carbonyl carbon, so that hydride can attack easily. Second reason is that when we compare the electronegativity of these two central elements, this aluminum and boron, then we have found that boron has higher electronegativity. So this BH bond is shifted towards boron. So hydride cannot transfer that much easily as compared to aluminum hydride. So because of these two reasons, this lithium aluminum hydride is a stronger reducing agent as compared to sodium borohydride. All right. So this is the general, reactivity order. So if you see that the carbonyl, this is aldehyde, this is ketone. So this can be easily reduced by sodium borohydride, and we know the reason because of course here it is hydrogen. Here we have two plus I groups. So electrophilicity of this carbon is somewhat reduced. So aldehyde is higher electrophilic. This carbon is higher electrophilic as compared to ketone, because here we have only one plus I effect that can stabilize this uh, positive charge on the carbon. Here we have two, but here you see, here we have resonance stabilization in this species, so that can undergo more stabilization, more electrophilic stabilization of this carbon, because this carbon have very small positive charge, lesser electrophilicity. You can see here also this is the same thing almost. So due to this nature, because of this nature of bonding pattern, these two cannot be easily reduced using this sodium borohydride, but all these four can be reduced using lithium aluminum hydride. So from this example also, we can easily understand that whenever we are using only sodium borohydride, then this ketone will be getting reduced. And here, if we are using lithium, then we can reduce both this functionality. All right, so what we have studied today, let me summarize that we know what is sodium borohydride. It is a reducing agent, nucleophilic reducing agent, and it is mild as compared to lithium aluminum hydride. And we study the two method of preparation, and these two are the industrial process by which we can prepare this sodium borohydride. As far as the reactivity and mechanism is concerned, it can react with carbonyl group, carbonyl electrophilic carbon, because of the higher electrophilicity of carbonyl carbon. And the mechanism is very simple. First step is the transfer of hydride from sodium borohydride or BH4 minus ion to carbonyl carbon. Second one is protonation. So the mechanism is very easy. So application is important here. Carbonyl can be reduced to corresponding alcohol. This sodium borohydride is used as a reagent when we discuss the oxymercuration demercuration reaction. Then for the second step, in case of this oxymercuration demercuration step, we need sodium borohydride to break the carbon mercury bond, because oxymercuration demercuration is a reaction where hydroxylation of alkene takes place in the presence of mercuric acetate, water, and in the second step sodium borohydride, and it takes place as according to Markovnikov rule. Then the third application of the sodium borohydride is, generally it has been observed that whenever there is alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound and we are using sodium borohydride alone, then the reduction takes place in 1,4 fashion. But when we are using cerium chloride with sodium borohydride, then exclusively 1,2 reduction of carbonyl takes place if substrate has alpha beta unsaturated uh, compound. So using this Luche reduction, we can get exclusively alcohol without affecting the double bond, conjugated double bond. And we have compared the reduction property of this sodium borohydride with lithium aluminum hydride, and we have found that LAH is stronger reducing agent as compared to sodium borohydride. And because of the two reasons, first one is the size of lithium ion cation, which is a smaller size, acting as a good Lewis acid. It activate carbonyl oxygen and ultimately make carbonyl carbon more electrophilic so that hydride ion can attack. Second reason is the difference of electronegativity between the aluminum and boron. Aluminum having lesser electronegativity, so from ALH bond, hydride can be transferred easily. So these are the things which we have discussed today. I hope this lesson will help you to learn some fundamental concept, something about sodium borohydride. And from this lecture, you can also able to compare the reducing power of sodium borohydride with lithium aluminum hydride. So we'll stop here, and next we will discuss the Wilkinson's catalyst. So this is also an interesting catalyst. Okay, we are done today. Thank you. Thanks for watching.